Chirag bhai.
Prashant bhai, we will start within 5 minutes.
Yes, done. Chirag bhai.
Prashant bhai, we will start within 5 minutes.
Yes, done.
Yes, Prashant bhai.
Okay, no. Yes.
प्रतीक सावलिया.
We will start the session within 1 minute. Sir, with your permission, we start the session.
Yes, let's start.
Okay. Good morning, members. It is our immense pleasure to welcomes to all of you on behalf of Varacha Katargam CP Study Circle. Before we move ahead, I request to every member to put your hands on your heart for our ICI motto song. Thank you, members. Friends, we all know that government is planning to reduce the compliance practice day by day, and government using various technology tools, and that's why all the information coming in online. Government is planning to give all the information to the assessee by checking and accepting mode. That's why it's a time to come. We need to develop other core area of practice other than this routine practice. And for that, today we have arranging a seminar on a extraordinary topic, that is secrets to develop practice of outsourcing practice. And for that, we have a very eminent, dynamic, and learned speaker, CA Dhaval Paun sir from Rajkot. Sir, our study circle acknowledge your valuable virtual presence. Now I request to CA Arun Viradia, convener of our study circle, for welcome gathering. Over to Arun bhai.
Thank you, Prashant bhai. It's my pleasure to welcome the gathering today on the topic of secrets to develop outsourcing practice by CA Dhaval Paun sir from Rajkot. In today's techno-savvy world, a location to and for work and provide a service is not important. Important is only work, service, cost, and earning. This can be achieved only by outsourcing work, particularly in our field, our work area. We can grow our practice and achieve our goals and reach to the milestone which we have targeted through this outsourcing work only. And we have to develop this type of outsourcing and other practice areas in day-to-day practice and compete our competitors. With this word, I hand over to Prashant bhai.
Thank you, Arun bhai. Now I request to CA Chirag Vasani, subcommittee member of Varacha Katargam CP Study Circle, to give a formal word of introduction of our today's learned speaker. Please, Chirag bhai.
Thank you, Prashant bhai, to allow me to give introduction of today's speaker. Today we have with us very good speaker on today's topic, CA Dhaval sir from Rajkot. CA Dhaval Paun sir, he is a qualified chartered accountant. He is also qualified in Diploma in Information System Audit. He also qualified certified fraud examination from USA. He is also qualified as a FFD certified course of ICI. CA Dhaval Paun sir is providing a consultancy service to US client from remotely, mainly area of bookkeeping, Excel automation, Excel tool of business process, and business consulting. He is also certified Quickbook Online Advanced Pro Advisor and help us to small and medium-sized client from US business to achieve automation in bookkeeping and Quickbook Online with the third-party apps. is extensively work with the San Finaco based startup online plan as a web-based financial modeling tool in their product development phase. He is also like to experiment and adapting new technology to achieve productivity and extension of all professional tasks. He has also delivered lecture on Excel of for forensic tool, practice development, management tool for chartered accountant, and outsourcing service for opportunity on various occasions at Ahmedabad ICI branch, Bhuj ICI branch, and Sivasaki ICI and Kozano Code ICI, Junagadh CPA Study Circle, is Bombay CA Society, and Committee for Development of International Trade and Service and WTO. Is also take a lecture on FAFD faculty at Surat ICI branch and advanced ITT faculty at Rajkot ICI branch. With this brief introduction, I request you, sir, to start this session on today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirag Bhai, for the nice introduction. Also, thank you, Arun sir and Prasan Bhai, for inviting me to speak at this study circle. And also, I am really, thankful that you choose this topic uh, beyond the, traditional areas which we used to have CPE on. So, thank you once again, Varacha Katargam team, study circle team, for arranging such a dynamic and current topic for today's session. As well as I also think more than I can see 130 participants are already present in this session right now. So good morning to everyone, and it's really nice that you come to this session, sparing this much time on a morning, busy morning you have. So let's start with my presentation here. So I will share my screen. So just to confirm, if you someone can confirm that you can see my screen as well as you can hear me, right?
It's visible and here.
Okay, perfect. So today's topic, I'm just going to share my experience in the last 10 years. Since 2012, when I started my practice, within couple of months, I decided that I don't want to expand my services in traditional practice. I want to explore something else, right? And then I started experimenting, and I got some results, some failures. So today I'm going to share just my experience in a practical way. It's not just theoretical, right? And I need your support as well to make this session successful. You can ask me any questions, and we can try to cover those as well, right? So today, let's first quickly go through the overview which I'm going over here, and that is why we should consider outsourcing practice, why you should move to outsourcing practice or start in this area apart from your traditional practice you already doing, right? Then we will try to cover some misconceptions which makes us to make some progress in this area, right? We need to start somewhere, but something is holding us back, so we will try to cover those. Next, the very first requirement in successful in this area is skill alignment. We as a chartered accountant are already qualified, equally qualified to cover this requirement of servicing overseas client, but we need a little bit alignment over our skills, right? So we will cover that, how you can quickly align skills and be ready to deliver these services. Also we will cover where to start. Like I will cover all the possible channels where you can start, you know to find clients, and where what is the right strategy in each of these platforms. And then the most important part of our session, which I'm going to 50% of my effort will be writing, in proposal writing secrets. In any of the channels we are going to see, you need to have the right approach in approaching these clients. So that we will going to see by the way of case studies. Like I have selected 10 plus actual case studies where we will see what was the requirement, how the CA, our counterpart, has submitted the proposal, and then we will see how he could have done this proposal writing to have some success. So this is, friends, agenda for today. It's mainly practical. I will try to make it as much practical and as much real life case studies as possible, right? So let's start with my first slide. And that is to reason for diversifying from CA practice, or even if you are in the job, then why you should consider this outsourcing practice as your area of practice, right? So friends, before showing me you my points, if I can get some inputs from you, like I see a lot of you are live in this session right now. So if you can write in chat why you are considering this area of practice, or why you are here for this session to learn this outsourcing practice. If someone can type, then we will understand from you guys, because you are already in traditional practice, really trying to diversify. So if you can give me some inputs, that will be valuable in chats. So we have more than 150 participants right now. So guys, try to be interactive. Okay, so Chirag sir saying that every week there is a due date. Yes, that is the right hurdle we are facing in traditional practice, that we have to run behind the due dates, and uh, we sometimes suffer our personal and social lives as well. Okay, there are many replies now. So want to get professional knowledge and growth. Yes, very well said by Praveen, that in this traditional area, what's happening is, like we are stick ourselves to compliances and routine tasks. Our clients are more or less same. They want more or less the same services, right? uh, and in this outsourcing practice, see, every time you will be facing a new client, his situation will be different, his requirement will be different, and you have to be dynamic to adopt to those requirements. Yes, stereotype work, as we have covered, increase of compliances and little increase in professional fees, that's really rightly said. Work satisfaction, yes, everything is, yes, stress and uncertainty in current practice. Scope of work is shrinking, yes. We should run with technology to make growth. Perfect. So yes, this is the points I am going to cover in this slide. Tried of this monotonous practice, hard to collect fees after service, that is really true. And even client has no interest in routine practice. Yes, client sees us as just the compliance, we do compliances, and that is only job we do, and no value added by us to them. Routine practice are done by BCom and 12th pass. Perfect, perfect. So let's try to cover in a systematic way. As someone rightly said, the fees charged, we charge on a per assignment basis. See, I will tell you, constructively what is the problem here. Like what I observed, like I charge for a filing income tax return, or doing GST compliances. It's a per assignment basis. So sometimes I have seen chartered accountants face a lot of issue due to maybe schema, or maybe due to digital signature, or maybe the income tax portal, GST portal, and whatnot. And they end up investing a lot of time than they have budgeted. Like if I assume that I will have to do 1 hour for filing income tax return, I will quote my fees accordingly. But when I actually do it, from collecting the data from the client to executing the task, I might face a lot of difficulties. It may be due to the government, the platform they are providing, and a lot of those things you already know those, right? Someone said it like level of fees we do get compared to the efforts in compliance we do for the client. Sometimes it's that we are worrying for the business of the client. We tell them this needs to be done, this compliance needs to be done, otherwise you will face this litigation, or this penalty and stuff like that. It's just like we are worrying so much for the client, we are doing so much for the client, but the fees we are getting is very little bit, I will say. There is a constant change in laws, we need to update constantly. See, there is nothing wrong in getting updates or getting ourselves updates, getting training, but what it like, it's not adding any value to our core skills. It's just like changing of the laws, changing of the rules, some deadlines, and return filing, and lot of changes happens, and we need to just keep on updating ourselves. And what happens due to this change in law is, you must have seen, you provide a lot of non-chargeable fees, non-chargeable consulting to client. Like the client, each time some news come up with the new change, or they will call you that what needs to be done, uh, what how it going to affect our business. And a lot of, this calls keeps on happening. Anyone can call us, who are having our per assignment basis client. They will call us and constantly ask for help. We are not going to charge for them. That's the fact. We already have quoted our fees. There is a limited upsell of services, like if you have any client for compliance, GST or income tax, you tell that we can help you in business automation, your cost management, anything else you think you can help with. The client will instantly deny you that we don't need those services from you. We already do our best, we know our business, and your expertise is not needed. Most of you must have faced this situation. There may be few clients who are looking for your inputs, who may take your services, but there is a limited upsell of services, your core competence. Like as I told you, our core skills of a chartered accountant, it's not just the compliance and auditing and basic stuff the business needs to do as a must. We can add a lot of value, so there is a limited our skills are not utilized that much. Another thing is, like these clients are not adopting to the technology. Like nowadays you see this big e-commerce wave is going on, the blockchain is coming up. So our client is doing the business the same way like he is doing at 10 years ago or 2 decades ago, right? So our if you face the new situation, the dynamic environment outside, it will force you to upgrade your skills knowingly or unknowingly. You will come to know regarding the new development. So this is the thing, and as someone has rightly said, the empaneled work is getting less and less. There are two reasons, like government is also having a role in this. Also, we as a chartered accountant community are also growing very fast. Like for example, the bank audit, the banks are not moving that fast. The bank branches are not opening up that fast compared to the practicing chartered accountant that are increasing, and also someone rightly said, the task we do as a chartered accountant, like 80% or I think say like at least 50% can be done by a BCom as well. And they are already doing it, like the lawyers and other professionals. Even semi-qualifieds can do this consulting in GST and income tax and stuff like that. So we are facing competition, and what happens is, like we need to charge a lower fees to compete with them. So these are all problems. You already know that, there are many others in the list, and you already know as a chartered accountant. So I don't want to cover more about this, but these are mainly the reason you should consider for diversifying your practice. Now, when we are moving to a new area, we should see that what is the scope of this industry. Is this a vast opportunity or not? So for that, I am going to show you some of the reports in this practice, right? So I will be going to share this PPT as well, so you will have the links if you want to refer it later on. But this is a Forbes article. It says the freelance revolution is just getting started and key trends in 2022. Let's try to see some points in detail of this Forbes report. It says more of everything is freelance, right? It is tough to be pessimistic about freelancing revolution. The data show market strength, freelance satisfaction, and a growing support ecosystem. and increase business conviction, right? So this is one thing. More platforms, like nowadays there are a lot of platforms, like 800 to 1000 platforms, where you can find or you can connect with the clients who is willing to get their work done remotely. So it's a increasing economy. A lot of funding available for startups who are providing these platforms. Now with this Payoneer and what all other payment providers, the getting paid is very easy nowadays compared to what it used to be 10 years ago. There are many points he has mentioned, but what I try to focus more over here is uh, uh, the freelance has a supply problem. Understand this, my friend. Freelancing or has a supply problem, not a demand problem. What it means is, there is a lot of supply, means there are a lot of clients who needs to get their work done remotely, in any area. I'm not just saying this reports is not just saying about finance and accounting field, but it's covering all other industries as well. So it's a demand, it's not a demand problem, it's a supply problem. uh, they need more freelancer or more service providers who can cater to the requirements of the clients. So platforms teams up recognize talent is their most important asset and scarce resources. More full-time freelancers are needed, right, to attract them. Some So there are a lot of things written over here, you can go through over that later on. The next is, one of the people study. PayPal is the largest payment processor for foreign earnings in India. Like 23% of Indian freelancers earn up to 60 lakhs per annum. No doubt, most of them would be in the IT field. I can presumably assume that. But since the evolution of this online accounting in enablers like QuickBooks and Zero, we have seen a lot of growth has happened in this area as well. And we have already seen the person who is having the right strategy in this finance and accounting domain are earning a lot, a very good compared to what it would earn in the local traditional practice. So it's a it's a fact. It's a growing economy. So in the same paper study, it's said that the average earning by a freelancer in India, like what they are providing services to overseas client, is 20 lakhs per annum. It's a huge, like some of our small and medium firms might be, in this point range, who are focusing on traditional practice. So the scope is huge. This industry is very vast, in and sometimes I say that, like, even if large chunk of our traditional practitioners, if they switch to this area of outsourcing practice, they will all be occupied. It's not a thing that there is a less opportunity. You need to grab it. And we will see in the later slide that countries like Philippines, even Pakistan, and many other developing countries are eating a huge pie of this opportunity. In our field, I'm now focusing on finance and accounting field only. So I have seen, philippines is Philippines firms are a way far ahead than our CA firms or traditional practitioners in grabbing these clients. So what holds us back from starting this outsourcing practice? Why you are not starting, or what problems you are facing? So again, if you can give me some inputs, it will be more insightful for me, that what are you like what's holding you back from starting, or what failure you get, or what you have already tried in starting this outsourcing practice for you. So yeah, Jainam is saying that client leads. Yes, that is the number one thing everyone is facing to start with, and we are friends. We are going to cover it in detail for sure today. What else you are facing problem with? Networking client lead. Yes, that is the number one thing I know. and there is no roadmap. Software knowledge, yes, that's also a thing, but it's see, software knowledge is a problem, I understand, but it's not at that bigger hurdle as a leads or networking. How to pitch the client, yes. See, Parvin has told how to pitch the clients. uh, you also need to have the right approach, strategy to approach to the client, right? That we are going to cover. See, infrastructure, someone is saying infrastructure, so we will understand all this. See, there are some more as well. Don't fear to write anything you feel, whatever it can be. Where to look for right opportunity, okay? So basically networking and leads, yes, I understand that is the number one thing everyone must be facing. Trust, yes, Chirag bhai, trust is a factor here, because someone is getting the work done from you remotely. There is a trust factor which needs to be there. So we will try to cover that as well. So let me cover my points here. There are more or less the same, but I will try to cover it a more structured way. So one thing is the capital expenditure. We assume that we need to have, like, we when we say outsourcing practice, we instantly visualize the large KPOs who are doing these practices, and we assume that we need to have the big team, big infrastructure, big like a very good website and whatnot. So all this is required. But see, friends, when I say outsourcing practice, understand this. I am trying to convince you that it's not just the large organization who are willing to outsource their work. There are small and medium businesses out there who are willing to get their work done from small and medium firms. If they can find good firms, they are willing to do that. So we will try to cover those clients. Those are small and medium clients. So that is that. So you don't need to start big. You can start with your existing setup as well. We will see how you can do that, but that is not a hurdle to start, right? Please understand. So efforts and time to set up, we think that it's a huge effort, to connect to this client overseas and get some work. So it might take 5 to 10 years to get good number of clients, but that is also not true. With the right approach, you can do it within 2 to 3 months time frame, or even 6 month time frame. See, friends, I'm trying to say that if you spend 1 to 2 hours per day in the steps I'm going to tell you next, you can definitely get the result. Only two things is required, right? First thing is the right approach and the right channel. Second thing is the consistency. See, friends, understand this. You will not get any result if you do this exercise for, say, example, 1 week or 2 week, and then you disappear for 6 months, and then you again come back. So you need to be consistent in uh yes, yes, you need to be consistent, right? Next is exactly, yes, Priyanka. So we see, another thing is, like, so, and not any one of you has written this, but somewhere we know every time a new thing comes up, we instantly start with like, is it allowed, uh, can we do this, and all this kind of questions comes or not. uh, if you can tell me yes or no, has this question come up to you while considering this practice? If you can tell me yes or no. Yes, I get a few yes here. So yes, so this is the one thing, and see here, our CA degree is an asset to us. Don't consider it as a liability to us. We will try to cover this as well. See, I'm not on this platform, I'm not going to cover a lot on this area, but we will see a little bit how you can do this and what is allowed and what is not allowed. But it's not a hurdle to start. Don't consider your CA degree as one of the liability or chain which is pulling you back from starting. I have seen, I have covered this point because I have seen from CAs this type of questions and hurdles. The next is, lack of skills, as someone has rightly said, software knowledge. So we'll see how you can do that in a shortest period of time. Then when I say skills, it's not that you have to go to like CPA and do years of again undergo the training and exam and stuff like that. It's a short thing. If with the right platform, with the right guidance, you can do that. So we will cover that as well. A language problem. See, many of you, again, if you can tell me yes or no, are you, in the back of your mind, are you thinking that having being from a non-English background, it will be a hurdle for you to communicate with the client and get your work done? If you can tell me yes or no. Good, good. No, I got one no and one yes. So yeah, someone feel it is a problem for me to communicate with the client because my English is not that much fluent. But from my yes, yes, I good. Yes, get a lot of no's here, so it's good. I don't need to go in depth in this, but just for you, your example, since 10 years I am trying to I am doing this practice for overseas client, and you can see my English is not that much fluent. If you convey my message, you can understand, and that is totally sufficient. Uh, just one example here: when a foreigner visit India, like say for example Agra, and to visit the Taj Mahal, he needs to communicate with the vendors to get his food, to get some services from local vendors, right? He can manage communication with them because he understands that to get my things done, I need to be slow, I need to speak slow and short sentences, right? The same way, when he's trying to get his work done in finance and accounting field, he understand that I am getting my work done at 10% of the cost. And also, see, understand, guys, from my experience, I am telling you, the US client has the impression that even after paying $100 per hour, I am not getting the services and the level of satisfaction which I get from an Indian chartered accountant paying $10 per hour or $20 per hour, right? So that is the impression in the client. So client want your services. Please understand that. He will be more, slow in your pronunciation. Will be slower while communicating with you. So it's not a hurdle, friend. Okay. See, also, is it scalable and long term? Since I started, like all of my colleagues and friends always ask me uh, whether there is any change in law in USA and this, this will stop and what not. What questions they have, friends? We need to like, since I have been following this area since 2007 or 8, and I started in 2012. Since then, I see it's an open economy now. Everything is online. No one can stop you from getting your work done from other, no, other countries freelancers. So it's not a problem at all, right? So having said that, as told you, like the Philippines is having a higher growth, and I have seen it from the actual experience as well, that we are lacking behind, a little behind, I would say, in grabbing this opportunity. Now we have covered the theoretical part, we have set the stage, and I think it's approximately 30 minutes now. So let's try to cover a practical aspects, in skill alignment and the outreach channels, or where you can get the leads and the right approach, which we are going to see, right? So let's start with skill alignment. So friends, since 2012, being a non-traditional practitioner, I have acquired a lot of skills in last 10 years. It ranged from like doing your digital marketing, uh, maybe funnel versus website and whatnot, data analytics, and a lot of stuff I have gained knowledge in. And all this, I have followed one blueprint, I would say. If you do so, you can grab any skills in shortest amount of time. So let's cover that. Like if you want to be a subject matter expert in any area, what you need to do is, you need to like connect with all the stakeholders. Like to first is the regulator. I will give you an example. If a non-CA wants to gain knowledge in, like if a semi-qualified or even a tax practitioner need to gain knowledge, he can utilize the ICAI's knowledge repository. We are having a lot of webinars. Anyone can join. They are hosted online as well. So always in any field there will be regulator. Like in USA, you will find AICPA, where you can where their knowledge you can access, and it will give you a lot of insight in current topics and current trends, right? No one can stop from you. I'm not saying you do CPA, but you will find a regulator in that area, and from where you can learn. Like for example, see, there is an association in forensic, ACFE, Association of Certified Fraud Examiner. It's a regulator kind of, it's not an officially regulator, but it's a body which can help you to learn these skills, whatever it can be. So next is your enablers. When I say enablers, are the like for example in accounting field. Okay, perfect. So see, આપણે જ્યારે enables ની વાત કરીએ, એક રિક્વેસ્ટ છે કે આપણે મિક્સ માં વાત કરીએ, બરાબર છે, કારણ કે આપણે ગુજરાતી છે તો સારી રીતે કનેક્ટ કરી શકીએ. બહુ સરસ. So I will try that I will cover everything in mix Hindi or English as well, even Gujarati. So that is the liberty I have now. So I will be more સારી રીતના આપણે કનેક્ટ કરી શકશું. So આપણે enablers ની વાત કરીએ તો એકાઉન્ટિંગ નું એક્ઝામ્પલ લઈએ આપણે, તો ક્વિકબુક્સ છે એક એનેબલર છે. અને નાઉ અત્યારનો જે આ એરા છે ટેકનોલોજીનો, you must observe that whatever enabler it is, કોઈ બી સ્ટાર્ટઅપ હશે કે even established startup હશે, they will have a lot of knowledge for their professionals who are using QuickBooks, for example. So even I will give you an example. Like I have one client in UAE who is doing like Zomato kind of startup, but with a twist that yes. So this startup is table reservation booking. Like in UAE, you need to in high restaurants you need to book your table before going there, right? So it's a table booking app for guest. So the main, see, for that startup, understand this, for that startup, the table reservation booking, uh, the restaurants are their clients, and it's an enabler, right? That startup in UAE is an enabler to book the tables for restaurants, right? So it's an enabler for restaurants. Now their services, એનું પ્લેટફોર્મ છે ટેબલ બુકિંગ કરાવવાનું રેસ્ટોરન્ટ્સ માટે. But for restaurants they also do lot of blog articles. They also write a lot of blog articles, like how you can design your menu, how you should price your menu items, what is how you can manage the cost, how you can track the cost. See, it's not their core services, but as they are enablers, they want their clients to be successful in each area. એ લોકો હરેક રીતના હેલ્પ કરવા માંગે છે તેમના ક્લાયન્ટને by adding value. Even they are not charging for that, but they are providing these services. The same way you will find enablers who are willing to give you the platform, all the resources, and QuickBooks is one of them. We will see in detail as well. Next is community or forum. See friends, in any area you will find a good community, active community. હંમેશા એક community તમને મળશે જ કે જે active હોય, જ્યાં તમને lot of communication regarding that skill will happen. મારું એક્ઝામ્પલ about 2012 માં મેં જ્યારે સ્ટાર્ટ કર્યું ત્યારે મારો કોર એરિયા, as you seen in the introduction, is I also do bookkeeping services, but first I sell my Excel services, advanced Excel services, right? So જ્યારે I want to learn this advanced Excel, મેં શું કર્યું કે માઇક્રોસોફ્ટની community છે એક્સેલની, right? Microsoft has community in Excel where everyone posts their questions, what they are facing. So you can solve them, or you can learn from when someone else is solving that problem. So you will be current and you will be gaining a lot of knowledge. So in QuickBooks also have a forum. Everywhere you will find community or forum where you can participate. And friends, let me tell you, you will not be aware about this, but it can be a good area for gaining the client as well. So we'll cover that in the later part, but we are not knowing that this is also a outreach channel you can execute to get good clients. So next is books. We know already that whenever we need to, like in GST also, you might be referring to books when expert you need expert guidance. So you will find books in all subject area nowadays, and it will be ebooks as well. You can find good courses and videos. It can be paid or it can be on YouTube. So now Udemy and everything is coming up. So very, at a very reasonable rate you will find good guidance. So you just need to have research and find good courses. Useful website, like I learned WordPress a lot. Being a CA, I can tell you that I have a good grasp of WordPress technology, WordPress platform as for blogging, right? So when I started in 2014 to learn WordPress, uh, okay, in WordPress there is a website called WP Beginner, a website called WP Beginner. So they write article for beginners who are just adopting the WordPress for their blogging. So you will find a lot of information, like I refer to 500 plus articles of them to learn WordPress, and they are really useful, they're really practical, and really right strategy to have your website successful, right? So you will find this website in each area, right? Next is groups on social medias. There can be active groups where you can connect and learn from them. Also you can set Google news alerts in new areas. Like I will give you an example. When UAE was implementing VAT, what I have done is, like in Google News, I have set an alert to email me daily whatever the newest updates are there in UAE VAT domain. They will email me, so every morning I will go through that mail and I will be updated in that area, right? So you can do that as well. Also support, friends, don't hesitate to ask support in any area, like whatever I have learned till date, whatever it can be. What I have done is, like if I have a problem in QuickBooks, I will go to chat support. I will connect with the agent and I will try to solve my problems. So this is the good area, like every enablers has a good support system. So try to use that. So all this, if you can connect with all of this, like books, courses, website, groups, forums, I am sure that you can be a subject matter expert in shortest period of time. So with example, if I can, also competitors as the last point, the competitors are I I can give you an example as well how you can learn from competitors. See, you can observe their online presence, what they are doing on social media, on their website, on their blog, and you can learn from them. Another aspect is offline. When you visit conferences, maybe ICI or other another conferences, there will be participant from those organizations. You can, in informal communication also, you can learn a lot of things. I have observed that in my in my experience as well, that a lot of thing can be learned from there. So next is, before moving to a particular skill, I want to discuss what paths you can go, what area you can focus. Each individual is different. Some young members are more, they are comfortable in technology maybe, and someone with having a good already 5-10 years experience, they are good at managing team. So now we will discuss what areas you can focus, and then we will cover both of them. Just a minute here. Yes, the question is, initially we have to go for bookkeeping. So let's see that in the next slide here. So, see, being a chartered accountant, we have two paths. આપણી પાસે બે areas છે where we can focus. First is basic services like bookkeeping and taxation, right? So we already know gap, we already know general accepted accounting principles that are universal. So everyone can start from these services, and what you can expect here is $10 minimum per hour rate. So whatever you do work, you can starting at $10 per hour, right? So to get good amount of work revenue, what you need to do is, like here you need to, for example, you need to employ 20% and get the work for them. And eventually, like if every person works for 5 hours per day, right? So you will be getting 100 hours revenue per day. This is an example of what you can expect. So if you are good at managing and delegating work, getting the work from your team, you should focus on this area. But if someone is uh, expert in Microsoft Excel or data analytics, data visualization, or willing to learn those skills and focus on them, they can start in these services. And what they can expect is, over here you can earn up to $100 per hour. So you just need a team of one. You don't need you can have team, I'm not saying that, but even with this one person team, you can earn equally, because here you are earning $100 per hour, right? Over there with a team of 20, you can earn $200 per hour, right, for example. But you will have to incur the staff costs, infrastructure costs, and likewise. So the choice is yours, like friends, I'm just giving you an example. कि आप ये path से you can explore. It's not just the accounting. If you are willing to learn this cutting edge skills in data visualization for using Tableau, Power BI, or if you are going to use data analytics using Python and stuff like that, you can learn that quickly, and you can focus on those areas. So these are two things. We will try to cover the skill where you can upgrade your skills in both of these paths. So first, let's cover bookkeeping. So friends, in bookkeeping, as everyone now nowadays knows, what are the main accounting software which everyone uses, each client uses. It's QuickBooks Online, Zero, Myobi, and there may be others as well like Zoho Books, but you get the idea, right? So how you can align your skills in this area. So the first thing is, like the, as I told you, webinars. There is a good website called CP Academy. In CP Academy, in the archived webinars, you can get a lot of free webinars of current topic, right? It can be on enhancing your practice, marketing your practice, and a lot of stuff. It can be a specific area as well. So you can see a lot of webinars, recent webinars you can see, which you can explore. See how modern firms command premium pricing by leading with advisory. See, if you are not only doing bookkeeping but also doing advisory, you can earn a lot. So all this you can learn from this CP Academy. See why client experience uh, matters in every accounting firm. How to host your tax season 2022 debrief. So you can learn a lot. If you are willing to learn, the resources are immense. You can learn from them. Why your client don't value your services. So you need to learn all this aspect. It cannot just be you just do the work and rest of thing you can ignore. You need to be dynamic. Bookkeeper for accounting professional, you need to learn a lot of technology, what is happening. Like bookkeeper might be a services, they are having this webinar on this platform. See, bookkeeping is seen as a cost center for all the businesses. So how to make it a profit center? So a lot of value can be created from these free resources. So next is your Intuit. Intuit is a company which is developing QuickBooks software. So they also have the accountant center. They are having a lot of resources for accountant. You can see. You will find updates, webinars, and everything for accountants. Stimulus check. Is a thing in USA. So what can client expect? checking the status of the payment, a lot of things which client might have questions or need services in, you can learn from these updates. It's latest, it's not your traditional book which we learn in academy. So that is that. And next is, the forms of the future. Again, the same entity is developing this website for accountants. And so a lot of things you can learn from in here. 5 workflow capacity planning tips every business needs to know. So learn from this, checklist for end of your activities with clients. So all this will add value, and it will also help you market your services. When you know all this, you can, in your approach, you can include all this what is written in these blogs and webinars. So that is that, right? So I'm just giving you all the resources in this area. One other resources is, like QuickBooks itself. I will try to log in my QuickBooks and show you what training they are providing. Just a second, I am logging in to my QuickBooks from another screen. I will share my screen in a second here. Okay, perfect. So this is my QuickBooks login for guys, and in the training, in each of these enablers, like be it QuickBooks, be it Zero, they have partner program or pro advisor program, right? Where they provide free training and free certification. So you can see a lot of thing you can learn, like introduction to QuickBooks Online for accountants. This is the training in detail. Then the basic certification, advanced certification, and not only that, my friend, they are also giving guidance on advisory, how you can frame your advisory work. What is the core of the work, and a lot of things they are covering here. And even within this training, you will find a lot of resources. So try to get a lot of value from here and use that in your marketing approach, right? So we'll cover that as well in later part. When we say the other path, the technological part, the one thing I follow here is for my Excel practice is, Excel is fun YouTube channel where if you visit playlist, you will find like it's, I will say, encyclopedia of Excel, advanced Excel, I would say, where you find all the topics from Power Pivot, Power Query, Power BI, everything you will find with case study, real life case studies, and I would say it's an encyclopedia. If you want to explore those services, you can learn it from here. So it's a free resources. Everyone can learn from here, right? Next is, like database administrator. So for example, Salesforce, using Salesforce, you can do it. Now there is many misconception, like Salesforce is a CRM, for example, and we think that CRM is for only marketing people. But friend, I will give you an example from my from my experience. For one of the multi-location, multi-partner lawyer firm, what we have done is, implemented this CRM Salesforce with help of an add-on called Litify. We have automated their reports. Like all their team needs to know that when there are next hearing for their running cases, what they need to prepare before that. All these reports, daily reports, generated from the CRM, and we have designed that in the Salesforce CRM, right? So you can be a database administrator. And see, always training is free for this. So this Salesforce is providing the training in each of this area. Like ours is a administrator thing, right? We can act as an administrator rather than developer. So you will find training for that free of course. Yes. Prepare for your Salesforce administrator credential, right? So it's a 75 hours training which you can go through, and you will be an expert in that area. So you can start, just sign up, and you can start with this training, and it will help you to be a database administrator. As I told you, training is free. If you want to have the certificate, you need to pay a little and take the exam. They will give you the certificate, right? So next is our government initiative, where IITians and other organizations provide training in many areas, not just our area. but it can be data analytics, data visualization, and stuff like that. So you might be already aware about the Swayam website and NTL, where you can find a lot of courses in your area which you want to learn in this cutting edge. It can be data visualization, data analytics as well. So that is that. So friends, we have covered the skill alignment part. Whatever skill you want to learn, uh, there are a plethora of resources available online. You just need to have the right, you need to know where it is located and start implementing this training and learnings. Right. So that is that. So any questions till now? If you can just write it down, I can cover those, and then we will cover the most important part, that is where you can find leads and what is the right approach. So we have spent already, I think, 1 hour or so. આપણે 1 કલાક already spend કરી લીધું છે. And let's see what questions you have till now. Yes, yes. I will be sharing the slides. Yes, Chirag Bhai is saying we can also focus on crypto accounting area apart from area described by speaker. Recent crypto boom has created this additional opportunity. Is right. You know, this, the benefit of outsourcing practice, as I told you, is, you will come across clients who are using, cryptos. They need to do accounting for them. So it will be a dynamic thing. You need to learn, and it's a good thing as well because everyone is new in this area. There will no expert in this area already. So you can try to learn, try to do it for a client, and then you will be an expert. So always in this outsourcing practice, you will come across dynamic situation. It will be rarely a static thing which you face in traditional area, like it's just the purchase bill, sales bill, expense bill you need to account for and do auditing and stuff like that. The client will have a unique situation which you need to solve with your expertise. You might also need to implement, it's just not the accounting software. You need to connect with a lot of things. For example, for an e-commerce, actually we are going to cover that as well, but just referring it to right now, કોઈ એક Amazon seller છે, તો એનો ઘણો બધો transaction base હશે. He will be selling a lot of thing on Amazon. There will be a lot of SKUs, there will be a lot of orders, right? So then accounting કોઈ manually નહીં થાય. Amazon connect with QuickBooks and accounting is done automatically. You just need to set up, right? So આ એક એવું નથી કે તમે ખાલી accounting software સાથે જ અહીંયા deal કરશો. You will be connecting with a lot of stuff. So that is the way, it's a dynamic environment. Praveen is asking, sir, we can get your support during learnings? Yes, of course. Yes. And someone has asked, do we need to do certified courses? See, one thing, friends, overseas client rarely focus on the certifications. Their focus is on the skills. If they if they believe that you have the right skills, they will give it the work to you. You might be a BCom, you might be a semi-qualified, or you might be a chartered accountant, but just having a degree is not a guarantee that you can have the success. Please understand that, my friend. And that is what we are going to cover in practical case studies, where we are going to see most of our community focuses on being a chartered accountant. They just write that I'm a chartered accountant and then think that that is more than sufficient. But friends, it's sufficient in India. In India, everyone understands that if he is a chartered accountant, he knows everything in this domain. But over there, you need to prove it by suggesting your approach to this problem which client is facing, right? So you need to do it differently, which we are going to cover. Janam is asking, are they price sensitive? See, it depends. Uh, some are some are price sensitive, but most of them, you will find if they find good value, they are ready to spend more. Okay, okay. In QuickBooks, see, certification is required in QuickBooks. Reason is, like, visualize this thing. When a client is looking for a accountant in QuickBooks Online, if he is getting approached by, say, for example, 50 professionals or service providers, 30 of them write that we are certified in QuickBooks Pro Advisor online version, right? And 20 doesn't write anything. So client will, more inclined to work with someone who has the certificate. I'm not saying it's a must, but when everyone is having the certificate, you need to have. And in getting the certificate, you will also get the skills. That is a plus point, right? Okay, someone is asking for fees charge, we need to go price on ad hoc basis or less amount of dollar offered for same. See, price is altogether a different thing. For a job like bookkeeping, mostly you will find client willing to pay per hour basis. Uh, it will be a fixed price basis as well. But if it is an ongoing project, you will find more hourly basis, clients. Okay, friends. So let's cover quickly the outreach channels, So first is the job boards, Uh, okay, I will cover the question a little bit later now. I will focusing on this session, on this slide right now. So first is the job boards. So when I say job boards, I mainly focus on, freelancing platform like Upwork. But there are many as well, many others as well. Like in LinkedIn, you will find a lot of jobs getting posted who are the client willing to, get their work remotely. So then you must have seen now businesses are hiring remote workers. So, like I have seen a lot of startups doing that. So it's not a hurdle nowadays. So you can find there also. Also, there is a startup communities where, startups post their requirements, who are willing to hire remotely. One is Angel List, another is Crunchbase also, where you can have your profile and you can approach to startups. So there are a lot of job boards you can find. uh, Another is, next, I'm not going to cover a lot in this area because I want to more focus on what is the right approach and the right strategy to get success. So social media, you can write a lot of your knowledge sharing on social media like LinkedIn, Quora, Twitter, and even, Facebook groups and a lot of other places. Even YouTube, you can create YouTube videos, a smaller videos focusing on a particular problem client might be facing in QuickBooks, or a particular industry might be facing right now, right? So a lot of thing you can do in social media. So the thing is, here marketing is you need to create online presence. In traditional practice, just having an office in a good building and having a referrals and networking can help. Local network can help relatives and stuff like that. But here your relative is the online world, right? So you need to have the online presence. uh, but you need to be strategic in that. There are a lot of stuff getting created online world. You need to be more strategic in creating stuff, and that give you result. So we'll be covering what is the right approach. Like when you write social media, whatever it can be, you need to have a call to action. Like if you have more questions, you can contact me on this number, or you can fill the form below this blog article. So all this call to action will help you generate lead, right? So you need to include those. Next is content. You can create content on your website, or you can create content on medium.org. That is a blogging platform where you can create blogs, right? uh, you can also, outreach through emails. When you think this is like, you come across one startup on LinkedIn, and you can, do some research add some value to them through emailing them. Also, you can be active on forums, as I told you. It's a good avenues for creating leads for you. If you are solving problems on forums, I'm not saying, see, all these are unstructured way of getting the work. So you cannot say that if I write 100 solutions on forums, you will be having 10 leads or 20 leads from them. But I must say that it will definitely give you result, and you will definitely find long term genuine clients who is willing to pay for your expertise, right? So you can be active on forums. You can do PR activity. When I say PR activity, I will give you an example. The example you remember for UAE startup, which are, they used to write blogs for the restaurants. What I have done is, when VAT was getting introduced in UAE, I have written an article for them. I just email it to them that this can be helpful for your restaurants, where what things they need to consider while switching to the UAE. It can be cost, the charging of menu items, or even visualize this. You need to visualize the problem and address that. Like when VAT was introduced, 1st January introduced you, as you are aware, right? And UA is a happening place. 31st December would be a crowdy event. So even like other businesses has liberty to have some time in billing their clients with VAT, but restaurants need to prepare very advanced, because on the 31st night they need to implement that. So all this aspect I have covered in that blog article. I have given it to them in email, and they have published it with my credential. Like, he can be reached through this LinkedIn profile. He is the author of the article. So friends, I'm not saying that if you share 10 of this article, everything will be published. But with the right strategy, if you write good article and give it to a good enablers, they will definitely publish it for you, and it will be a good marketing material for you, friends. So you can do it. Next is conferences. Like ICI is hosting this World Conference of Accountants, which is every 4 years it happens. Last time it was in Australia. This time it's getting hosted in, I think, November in Mumbai, right? So you can participate there. And see, again, in conferences, I cannot tell you that you will get this result. If you attend 10 conferences, you will get this much millions of revenues in your services. But friends, I have observed that it gives result. And one more important thing is, you can attend it virtually. This WCOA, this time you can attend it virtually with a nominal fee. ICA is hosting this conferences this time, and you can register before 30th June with a very minimal fee. So you should do that. You will get connected from the enablers, because they will have their email addresses, the sponsors. There will be 6,000 accounting firms going participating in there. So it will create a lot of value. You just need to be there. No one will come to your doorstep to give you work. You need to go out there. You need to be present there. So that is that. You should try to cover as much as possible. Now digital marketing. Now friends, don't say me that we are not allowed to do marketing. Just assume that you are not a COP holder, and one private limited or one other entity is doing this exercise. I'm just assume this from that point of view, right? So you can do it. See, all other channels which we have covered till now, except digital marketing, is adding some value, spending some time, and it's a generic way of creating leads. But if it is not working for you, you can buy your way through digital marketing. So Google Ads, you can do Google Ads. It works most. I have seen KPOs doing that. If time permits, we can cover that. We can see that what they are doing. But if you visit google.com using VPN of USA servers, and you just type uh, accounting services, you will find Philippines, Indian KPOs advertising. First 3 4 result, you will find those. And even that, see, everyone is doing that advertising, but try to learn from them. If you visit those websites, you will find good, when they land on their website, your website needs to be strategic. It cannot have 10 menu items. See, this is the thing which you need to learn. It's called funnel, not the website. Whenever you are paying for the traffic, your whenever the visitor lands on your page, they should not get confused. It should be a one pager, and there should be contact form where they can fill and you can get the lead. So this is the basic of marketing. So in each outreach channel, there will be a platform specific thing which you need to consider. For example, in YouTube, you need to add some hashtags. You need to do a certain thing if you are creating content on social media like YouTube. So there is a platform specific guidance you can get from good mentor, maybe in YouTube or in website, as we told you. But there is one more thing, which is common in everything, and that is the approach, which we are going to see next in next slides. uh, but those are the outreach channels. You might come across only one or two, and you know there are many of these which I have listed down here. And one thing, friends, I want to cover is, you need to have faith in the system, in these channels. You must have already tried these channels, or you must have heard that it never works. Right? LinkedIn never works. How many of you have already heard that, or tried that and didn't get any success? Can you tell me in yes or no? Have you heard that LinkedIn never gives you client, overseas clients? If you can type me yes or no, it will be helpful. Yes, now I get some yes. Yes. Okay, so I am right in saying that. Exactly. So if you have faith and you are not getting result, what will happen, that you will try to find the right approach. So friends, everything works. Believe me, I have tried each and every channels which I have mentioned over here. But with the right approach, you can get the success, friends. There might be something you are missing which you need to improve upon, and then you will get the result. So try to find mentor who is giving advice on how to approach on LinkedIn. Also, I will give you some example, no worry about that. So next, I'm you know now tell me, if you are approaching a bookkeeping assignment, if you want to get bookkeeping assignment from any client, so what we will do in approaching that, like what you will write uh, to them, to that particular business, so that they can give it the work to you. Can you please tell me, like, if there are one client who is looking for bookkeeping services from remotely from any freelancers, what you will write in that response, which will give you the result, which will make the client give the work to you? If you can write it down, then I can more confident in the next slide when I cover that, what you should write. Exactly. Nick is saying our profile to share. So we need to share our profile. Okay. And what you will write in your profile? So one thing, yes, everyone will share their profile that we are a firm of chartered accountant with 15 years of experience. We have done this much work, etc., etc., etc. Right? That is the one thing that comes to our mind. But friends, we need to, yes, exactly, education, experience, and software knowledge, that everyone will going to write, right? But friends, understand this: if that is that client is approached by 50 to 100 service providers, everyone is having a education, everyone is having the experience, more or less same. Everyone might have the software knowledge, right? Okay. Yeah. Yes, we can write that, we will do the work, quality work, within the time bound manner. But see, friends, just saying that will not give you the work, right? So how you can create the trust, how the client will believe that you are the right advisor, you are the good consultant? And friends, now I'll try to cover that part. See, what I will do is, like, first, always ask questions. If you already don't know anything, you can ask questions that will make client to start interacting with you. it should be have the good questions. If you understand the client industry, if you already know the client industry, I would, like for example, if it is a real estate flipping business, if the client is in real estate flipping business, it's a thing in USA that people buy houses, they improve it and they sell it for a profit. They do a lot. It's a good business in USA. So in there, the bookkeeping requirement is different. You need to maintain property wise expenses for those houses, and so that you can know the profitability of each deal. So in your proposal, you should write that QuickBooks, for example, if you are using QuickBooks Online, although it's available, this feature is available in every software, but QuickBooks Online has a feature where it allows you to track this property-wise profit and loss with class tracking feature or location tracking feature, and we can implement this. So you can give some approach based on the client, you know and it will give you more result. Client will have more trust in you that QuickBooks, this business, and you can really help you, right? So that is the thing you need to include. For example, if it is in a real estate rental business, it's a business in USA where people post their properties on Airbnb for temporary accommodation, right? So it's a different thing altogether. So they will be generating revenue from Airbnb, HomeAway, VRBO, etc. So we can say that we can connect to these services and automated our accounting, right? So a lot of customization you need to do based on the client. So in each of the channel, as I told you, it's a already know the client is requiring these services, but try to like each of this outreach channel. If you write a social media post, try to focus it on one area, one industry, right? If you are writing a blog article, try to write only for real estate flipping business. It will give you more result rather than just writing any generic accounting blog article, right? Even in your PR activity, as we know, like I was targeting UAE weight, so you can do any latest crypto, as someone rightly said, crypto accounting. So in that also, you will find on YouTube how to write good article which will be on the front of the Google page in the search result. So if coupled with that, this approach coupled with the approach for blog article, if you combine both in the right way, whenever someone types crypto accounting, it will come, your article will come in the third, fourth, or even first place. And if there are more visitors to that blog article and you have the call to action, you have the contact form in that blog article, believe me friends, it's more easier than you think to get leads to the work, and the work for you. It's not that hard. With the right approach, you can do that. So in this approach which I'm telling you, like for e-commerce store, we already covered. E-commerce business will have a huge transaction volume, so no one is going to do the accounting manually. It needs to be automated. So how you can do that? So QuickBooks can connect with Amazon and fetch the orders for you and do the accounting for you. We will achieve that automation for you, right? Then the SaaS business. In USA, you will see a lot of SaaS businesses, SaaS startup, like they charge per month for their services, software as a services, right? So there is a different accounting for them. They need to track the churn rate, cost of acquisition of as customer, and a lot of this thing. So you can generate reports. You can design reports which will automated from the accounting software and give the insight to this startup. So all this needs to be done. The consulting firm have altogether a different thing. They will have a billable hours. Like for our case, like we will be charging our clients based on the hours we are going to do for them. There may be billable expenses while entering, you can do those things. So each industry has specific requirements you need in your approach, whether it be a direct approach, whether it be your PR activity, blog writing, YouTube creation, social media. Try to be in a niche area, try to cover the niche area. It will give you more result. Multi-location stores, like maybe some chain of restaurants or anything you can visualize. They have location tracking needs to be have in accounting software. There will be inter-branch transfers that you need to deal. So if you cover all this, you need to visualize what client might face and what the solution I have in the accounting software, how I can add value. It will give you more result, friends. Right? So next and our last part of the session. Now I have approximately, I think 40 minutes, which I'm going to cover on proposal writing secrets in detail with example, with case studies, like what we mistakes we do and what improvement we can do. So that we are going to cover. And I friends, believe me, if you have this part right, it is more than easy to get the work for you from the overseas client, right? So always try to address client pain points. That will give you, an edge in, getting the communication from the client, because we must have seen that in all our approach, we will not get any result. But if we address client's pain point, we can get result. You can demonstrate your solution with stories, as I told you earlier, you need to give the approach to the problem, what you are going to follow. Try to achieve automation and process improvement. As a upsell, I will give an example in this as well. Let me open one file, like for Airbnb business. They are also doing offline guest hosting, for their properties. So what I have done is, like, they need to generate a contract which the guest need to sign for stay at their property. Also, they need to, give them the receipt of charge which we are going to charge, right? So here for this client, I have redesigned it to hide the identity of the client, but these are the basic inputs like guest name, guest email, and etc. Right? And these are the check-in date and check-out date. So client is maybe checking in May 18 and October 10. So this is the input sheet, guys. I have, when I observed the workflow of the client, I suggested that I can automate this part and save a lot of time for you. And then only they will give you $50, $100 per hour, right? If you give some solution like this. So what I have done, based on these inputs, whatever it can be, it's a complicated thing, but we will try to cover only basic part. Like there is a per day rent, and it will cover to per month rent, right? So, so from this check-in and check-out date means someone inputs all this blue thing, right? Per day rent, etc. It will populate this table. Like in month one, there will be partial month, and we will be charging for 14 days and this much amount. This is all automated with the help of formula. Simple formula, my friends. And it is a dynamic thing. If I change this date for example to March, for example this date 20, then you will see this is populated accordingly. Now the first month is March, we will be charging for 12 days and this much amount. See guys, this is automated with the basic formulas, right? So you need to do that. Next, contract. The contract they need to sign is populated over here with the help of formula. You can see the rent, month one rent, etc., dates, the information. So client just need to print that and get the sign of the guest. Next, the rental receipt. It is also populated, you see, and it will, as I told you, it is dynamic. You change it accordingly, it will change. So now if I visit the calendar, it will be this for August, 7 days, this amount, and you will see the receipt also generated. How much time I have saved for the client? Please visualize this. Just one time, one guest come in, we prepare this input sheet and everything is ready. Then they just need to print it. So try to achieve some automation for the client. It will give you more revenue, it will not, um, make your scope a little, but it will vasten your scope. Also avoid quoting irrelevant experience. Friends, I have seen a lot, like mentioning your tele experience which you have, or maybe another software which you are using in India. uh, quoting that experience will not give you any result. You can, you can avoid that totally. Also submit proposal only on projects you can really perform. See, there will be on the job training always. You might not be knowing everything entirely. For example, like in QuickBooks, while integrating a app for automation, you might not be knowing what happened. You need to experiment. You need to try different things. There will be on the job training, no doubt about it. And I always say that you need to do that. You need to invest time in performing the task. But you cannot learn a new skill in couple of days. Like, you cannot develop a third party app for QuickBooks. We are not developers, right? So submitting the proposal for those projects will, if the work is allocated to you, if your marketing is good, then you will be in trouble, friends. You will not be able to perform, and you will have, bad feedback, and it will hamper your progress. uh Next is, we will try to cover practical proposals, like the real case studies, what we see as do mistake while approaching the client, and what you should actually do. We will try to cover those as many as possible, because I think we have time of 30 minutes, and it will give you more insight. And then one last slide is there, and we will be covering all the aspects which we need to cover. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm opening the requirement posted by the client. Second, I am opening the proposal that is submitted for that particular project. And third, I am opening is the observation from my side, what can be the improvement, right? So let us first open the first project here. And friends, this approach or this thing applies to each of the channels which you might focus on. It is not one approach, so don't worry about it. Even if you are doing direct marketing or anything, it will be equally applied. It's a booking job. So it's a bookkeeper for a global company located in Canada. It's a global company which is located in Canada, right? And you can read the job which is given here. So it says Unstoppable Performance Leaders is a multidisciplinary boutique consulting firm that support organizations globally with their diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging needs. Our clients are Fortune ranking companies in US and Canada, right? We are now hiring a seasoned accountant to join our Unstoppable Performance Leaders team. If you are hardworking, dedicated, Unstoppable Performance Leaders is an excellent company for you. Apply today. And then he has written down responsibilities, right? So this is the requirement posted by the clients. And now let's see the proposal submitted. This is the proposal submitted. See, friends, says hello, I have read your requirement and meets your requirement. See, just saying I am meeting your requirement, no one will believe you, friends. And then I'm an Indian chartered accountant equivalent to Canada CA and has complete knowledge of GAP, internal controls. In past, I have also provided such kind of services to Canadian accounting firm based in Calgary. Request you to give me a chance for interview discussion so that we can discuss your requirement. And I am sure that I will be more suitable candidate for the position. I can easily manage to complete the assignment task within defined timelines. We can negotiate hourly rates. See, friends, read this proposal and visualize from client's point of view. Now, this proposal will be fit for each bookkeeping job from Canada out there. There is nothing like client has written so much, you can see. Client has written so much about the responsibility about themselves. You can research for the client. He has written Unstoppable Performance Leaders. So it's a form. You can do some research and learn what the client is all about, what he is doing, and include those points in your proposal. Then client will understand that he is inputting efforts and he is more willing to work with you rather than just submitting a plain proposal. So my observation here now in detail, let us cover that. one thing to do is, like client budget in the first part. If you see, client has average spending of 9.48 hours per hour, right? He is spending it $10 per hour, and his budget is also, I think, $15. You can see now quoting a $25 amount. He has quoted a $25 amount. You can see $25 amount per hour. Now, client, you need to understand this. We understand that we as a chartered accountant needs to get, you know, proper rate for doing our services. But friends, think from a startup mindset. Initially, you need to work at an average rate, what is prevailing in the market or what client is willing to spend. Later, I am sure, like I have started in the past, in the very beginning, I have started at $11-12 per hour. Instantly, within couple of months, I told the client that I am willing to work at $20 per hour. They instantly, without single question, approved that rate because they already have the trust in me. They know my value. So it will increase later on. And friends, within couple of years more, I increase it to $30 per hour, right? So it will be there. But initially, you need to quote your fees, what is prevailing in the market, in the industry, right? And like you can, as I told you, you can research about this unstoppable global consultant and write that in your proposal. Also, you must have seen in the proposal itself, you must have seen there is a lot of like informal words is written, like and, which is written in the sort, or some I in the past I is not capital, right? So friends, this is a professional thing you are doing. You cannot be in like WhatsApp language in your approach, right? So all these grammatical thing I have written here. But coming to more important part in my observation, what you should write. Your proposal only speaks about yourself, as I told you. It's very generic sentence which fit every job with minor twist. See, I don't doubt whatever he has written, but you need to write more customized way. You need to be personal. You need to socialize with the client, and then you will get the result. So you can start with, I am glad to connect with a firm who is helping business for business development. So if you understand client business, the client is help their business for their business development here, right? Or you can write, new client generation, being an independent consultant myself, I would be looking to learn while I perform the task for you. See friends, understand this. In remote approach, there is a problem which everyone might face. Like in this session which we are conducting remotely, I don't see your faces, so I don't know the response you are having right now. So I cannot customize my approach, right? This is the biggest disadvantage of a remote thing, whatever it can be. It can be webinar or anything, right? Right. So in here also, while approaching the client, visualize that client is sitting right in front of you. Socialize with them, writing something like, I am glad to connect with a firm who is helping business for business development. Don't forget that. Don't be too formal in your conversation. Try to be socialize with the client, and it will be a good point to connect with the client more effectively. Rather than just saying I'm a chartered accountant, you can say, being a chartered accountant with X years of experience, I have conducted financial report preparation exercise in according with gap compliance for this much years, this much company, this much sector. It will be more believable. Also try to match each requirement in your story. So whatever client has mentioned in his requirement, you should try to address each part. You cannot mum on those, like the client has written on advanced skills and knowledge of Excel as well as Microsoft other Office application. At least write something about your experience in that area, right? So this is the thing. What we learn is here is, first, try to socialize with the client. Don't just keep on speaking about yourself. Second, try to address what the client is doing and what approach you are going to use in this particular project. So let's quickly cover the second area here, second case study. So let me open one of the recent thing. It's a long-term bookkeeper. The client is looking for long-term bookkeeper. Hello, I am looking for a long-term bookkeeper to join my accounting firm. See, it's an accounting firm. Understand? See, read this properly and try to understand the thing. Right? And we work in QuickBooks Online. Is this something that would interest you? So this is the requirement posted. So now see the proposal. It is written. Hi, sir. I'm experienced Indian chartered accountant, equivalent to US CPA, having 15 years of experience in accounting. I would like to mention that though I am new to Upwork, but not new in the world of bookkeeping, and I am looking to get my first client that I can build upon. If you take a look of my profile and feel that I can help you, I can do it for $12 per hour. I assure that you will get the same high quality services and better turnaround time. See, friends, this is the generic proposal which can be posted in any of the requirement. It will not work. What could have been written? Please see this. Please understand this. So what could have been written? You know, I'm glad to connect with an accounting firm willing to outsource bookkeeping jobs as myself being a chartered accountant, run a small accounting firm in India, and I'm looking to connect with overseas client for my firm. So this is what we have done. Socialize with this accounting firm. Try to understand, friends. It must look like that you are customizing writing this proposal for this particular client and not generic proposal. So now next sentence for the same, I already gained QuickBooks Online Provider certification. So as you are looking to connect with overseas client and do bookkeeping jobs, you have already gained this certification. So the requirement of QuickBooks from the project is covered here. We work in QuickBooks Online, right? Next is bookkeeping is always a long-term project. As clients as title called long-term bookkeeper. So you can write bookkeeping is always a long-term project for any business. And it's continuous job. Bookkeeping is a continuous job. Hence, hiring a person available from long-term is beneficial for any business. As I'm working on handful clients, see friends, one thing we make mistake as a CA is we write that I have 100 clients. Never ever write that. It will give a wrong impression. Always write I work for a handful of clients. Mentioning a good number will never give you result. Rather mentioning something like this is going to give you result. I can commit for long term. Having said that, this job is most interesting for me, right? See, as client has written, if it is interest to you, is a question. So as all mention all the points like why you are looking for overseas clients, you have also again QuickBooks and are available for long term. So this is interesting to you, right? Please let me know when you can connect for a short meeting to discuss further. Call to action, friends. As I told you, it's a must for having the result. If you ask some question, if you write something like this, it will be more like client will more inclined to give you response. It's called quick call to action. Next, let's try to cover the next study here. So friends, again, booking QuickBooks Online Canada. I do about 2 million per year in sales. Understand this, guys. Average transaction value is $15,000. I am looking for a full-time bookkeeper to keep my QuickBooks up to date. Transaction categorization and the rest. I estimate 2 hours per week. Good verbal English is required, right? So this is the project. Now see the proposal. Hi, greetings of the day. I am Indian chartered accountant with good experience of 15 years of accounting. I have gone through your proposal and offer my services for the proposal. I have provided such kind of services to corporations based at Alberta, Canada, and have good experience. Friends, this is very generic approach. Everyone can write this. No one is going to believe you. It's just talking about yourself. Rather, what you could have written, you know, what in my, in, This is very casual or bad proposal writing, I would say. Visualize this person sitting, saying this job, uh, sitting in front of you in your office. Will you just say that I'm a chartered accountant with 15 years of experience? Client has just said that he has 2 million in sales. You will say, oh wow, you have 2 millions of sales. It should occur very naturally, that your socializing work very naturally, right? Okay. So right, you can write something like this. Hello David, I'm glad to connect with a seasoned upward client like you. Congratulations for reaching 2 million mark in sales for your business. Guys, I see you have a high ticket size clients, because the client has said that my average client is $15,000. So I presume yearly invoices would be just over 100, right? Because 2 million divided by 15,000 is just around 100, right? It would not take much time of the time as regard bookkeeping for them, right? Revenue side is easy for this client. So you are advising based on your professional experience, right? The critical area would be expense categorization of all debits in banking feed. So all the expense categorization is a little bit of a task. Initially, I would need more input from you to understand the business and how you categorize each expense. Guys, like each expense is different category. For me, who is doing a lot of developing activities for website and stuff, having an iPhone is an like research and development activity. Rather, for someone it may be a hardware. So you need to understand from the client. But as we do a couple of months of bookkeeping, I can perform the task myself with little to no help from you. I will even automate most of the categorization task by using bank rules feature in QuickBooks Online, friends. So QuickBooks has a feature with bank rules defined. All the banking activity can be automated, like it will be automatically in the banking sector in QuickBooks, and it can be automatically accounted for with the help of bank rules. Starbucks is always a marketing expense because meetings are happening in Starbucks. So it will automatically categorize as marketing through this bank rules. So you are just proposing solutions or automating the job, right? Having said that, let me brief introduction about myself. Then you can write your introduction. Now, sharing your introduction and every experience later on will help. How it will help? That you already given your expertise opinion and proven your expertise, and you are a good advisor. Now writing that you are a chartered accountant with experience will be more believable to the client. And next is call to action. Please let me know when we can connect for a short meeting to discuss further. So this is the good approach you can follow, friends. So this with this examples, you now fairly know how you can approach covering these points. We have seen some case studies 2 to 3, as well as we have brief points also, right? So now the last slide is successful service delivery secrets. Now you have already worked from the client with this right approach. You already got the work. So what you can do to make client happy, because it's the essence of getting continuous work in future. So always, friends, don't hesitate to ask question. What in traditional area also you must have faced, that whenever you face any problem where you are lacking some information from the client, we keep mum, like we don't do that work for some time. We will think that it will be a later thing which we can do, but don't do this with overseas client. They will be more willing to give any information you might need. So don't hesitate to ask questions. No one expect you to do the task in the from the first minute. You can feel free to take time understanding the client's business, the process that client have, the workflow the client have, the software and tools the client use. For example, if I give my example, in 2012 itself, when I lend up in a Czech Republic hedge fund, I was having already experience from my Mumbai post qualification industry experience. I was already doing hedge fund accounting in Geneva software, but this client was using another software. You don't believe, I have spent 1.5 hours learning that software for the client, and I also billed the client for the same at $40 per hour. So client don't expect you to have knowledge of everything and start doing the work from the first minute. He is willing to give you even budgeted time for paid time for that learning as well. So always feel free, guys, give regular updates in don't take me otherwise, but in traditional practice, what I observed, until client calls you up or follows you up, you don't start working on that client. Please tell me yes or no, is this the case with you? You can tell me yes, don't be hesitant. Okay, mix. Yes, yeah, sometime it happens that until and unless client calls you up, you don't start, because we already have a lot of work, right? But in remote work, please, trust is the key. Client is sitting like miles away from you, he don't know you, and he has given the work with the trust that you have gained from him. So even if you don't do the work, even I do the same thing. If I said I will be doing the task in next day, if I'm not able to do it due to my professional or personal reasons, I will just email the client that I have not done it. I will take 24 hours more. Client will be more happy, guys. Client will be more happy. He will not be complaining about you not doing the task, but he will appreciate that you just give updates. Now he can relax that I will have another update, whether positive or negative, next day for sure. Like otherwise he will have a lot of thinking, like already 24 hours has passed, whether he has run away, he is already doing some task, he is facing any issues. Lot of question comes into human mind, right? Everyone is human here. See, overseas client is no different. It's just the regular client sitting remotely in another location. Friends, please understand. Also obtain testimonial from the client, be it any platform, right? But obtain testimonial, it will help you to get more work from future. Also, you know client will also recognize that you are want more work because you ask for testimonials. So he will refer to your his circle, that I'm using this service provider, he is good, and you can also utilize him for your project. So friends, this has happened to me, please understand this. So always ask for testimonials from the client. So with this word, we will cover question and answer quickly, friends. And thank you once again for hearing me out and invited me to speak at this study circle. I expect you to, just this slide shows that I want you to increase your dollar revenues, like just like this chart. Rather than Indian revenue, I want to see you having the dollar revenues more and more. So guys, thank you once again for hearing me out, hearing my experience, and please shoot out any questions if you have any. Also, you can contact me on this number or email. But guys, please first WhatsApp me so that if I am having such session or with client call, I can address it later on. So thank you once again, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If any members have query, then kindly raise your hand and ask your question to directly to sir. Kindly unmute him or herself.
Okay, see, someone is asking, as per your experience, which is the most popular platform to getting work like this? See, understand, friends. Uh, uh, See, I'm not just telling you that I'm not advocating any platform. I am not associated with any platform. But friends, understand this. There is, if you understand, there is a two channels. One is a structured channel. One is an unstructured channel. If you use a platform like job boards, like Upwork, it is a structured thing. Please understand, guys, this. There is a demand. You already know that this client is in demand. You go there, you provide your services. It will be much more easier if you have the right approach, first thing. But if you do otherwise, it will also give result, but it's an unstructured way. You need to input a lot of time and effort. If you don't have experience and testimonials, it will be really hard for you to get work through another channels, right? But at the same time, you will definitely get the same result in an unstructured way. But again, you need to have the right approach. See, in there will be two aspects, as I told you. One is platform specific approach. You need to make it correct. Like as I told you, YouTube, you need to create a video a certain way to give result. Blog article, you need to write your headings, your content in a certain way so that the search engine list your blog article in front of the page, in the first page when someone search for that. So you need to take care of these two aspects. If you figure that out, you will get equal result.
There is one announcement. We have our secretary from Surat branch of WRC of ICICI, Dushyant Vitlani, sir. Please unmute himself and kindly announce Dushyant bhai.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Convener of the study circle, CA Arun Viradia, Deputy Convener Prashant Vekaria, and today's our speaker, Dhaval Bhai. And thank you, study circle, for giving me this opportunity. Members, we would like to inform you that from today onwards, Surat branch of WRC of ICI is starting lecture series on RERA, Real Estate Regulation Development, Real Estate Regulation Development Act 2016. The series is spread across 6 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 6 faculties will be there, covering the each and every aspect of RERA. So it will be a new, I think, the opportunity or new avenues for our the CA members, and request everyone to kindly join for today's program starting at 4 o'clock at ICI Bhavan. And Sri Amarjit Singh sir, Chairman Gujarat RERA, will be joining online for as a keynote speaker. So I request all the members to take the benefit of the programs which are being conducted by the Surat branch. Thank you, Deputy Convener and Convener. Thank you, members, for giving me such time.
Thank you, Dushyant bhai. If if any member have query, then kindly, we have just 8 to 10 minutes, so you can ask freely to us, sir.
Yeah, most of them are asking that how to write proposal if we have no experience with overseas client. See, friends, as I told you, there are a lot of resources which you can learn, like in the webinars which we have discussed from CPA Academy, YouTube videos. You can learn a lot about the business, the checklist that these advisors are using. So you can first go through this training and already think while learning this from these trainings, think what you can utilize in the marketing. Like for example, I will tell you, in a job for chart of accounts is just setting accounting system like ledgers for the client, right? In the training you will hear that chart of account is the backbone of any accounting system. So in your marketing you will write this sentence. It will be more meaningful for the client that you understand the importance of chart of accounts. So while getting through this training, always see that what you can use in the marketing, in the writing the job proposal, so that you sound like a good consultant or good advisor. We already have the knowledge, friends, but just it's a matter of convincing the client that you are the you are the right consultant and you know what is required currently in this project, right? So training, again guys, training is the key here.
Sir, there is one question that which software mostly used in European country?
Yes, exactly. See, European, I think now QuickBooks Online is everywhere. So QuickBooks Online is used. Zero is also used, and there is one, I think Sage, SAGE, is used mainly in European countries.
Okay. I think there is no any query right now, so we can conclude it here.
Yes.
There is one minute, just 1 minute. Sir, one query is how well to practice in Power BI and other tool.
Okay, you want to do practice. I think he is saying that he want to gain expertise through practice, right? So what you can do is, as I told you, Excel is fun YouTube channel. You will find practical case studies, with data sets. Like Power BI is like big data visualization you will be doing. So in that channel, you will not only find theoretical knowledge, but it will be totally practical. So you will have the data sets. You can perform it based on the trainings in YouTube videos. You can perform it in your software, and then you can gain knowledge in that.
Okay. There is one another query. Is taxation knowledge of taxation of foreign country required?
See, if you start with bookkeeping thing, it is not required, friends, because the tax part will be taken care by the CPS, right? And see, friends, again, always you can focus taxation later on once you start bookkeeping. But starting bookkeeping is not like in taxation will not knowledge will not be a hurdle here, right? So please understand that. And also, friends, we are targeting here small and medium businesses. Please keep this in mind. We are not, like having a complex business scenarios where you need to know a lot of stuff. You can start with basic, even like small and medium. See, friends, I will share you my experience more here. Most of this client might have 1,000 or 5,000 maximum entries in their accounting year. So we will think that who will need help for this, but see, foreign clients needs expert. Even if they need to do a smallest of the tasks, they will hire expert. So that is the culture over there. So don't over visualize the thing here. It might be a small business and medium business, and don't need much complexity. And see, again, one more experience here I will share you. I'm doing bookkeeping for one of the client who is a small client, right? He is filing his tax returns, and I said I am not having knowledge about it. He said you can do it. I will just share you my past returns. And then I learned from the IRS website there is a PDF form, and there is a guideline for that PDF form in detail available on the IRS website, which any CA, like we are having the complex laws in the world, and we already are doing our work around. So you can also do this simple task with the help of the client. That's the reason why I told you, don't hesitate to start with bookkeeping. Later on, client will definitely give you as an add-on this kind of task. It will never define to accounting. As I have learned, they will give you more and more role, and you can easily do it with the existing client. And then you can, after learning those things with the existing client, you can then focus on the newer clients on this taxation part.
Okay. So now we conclude the seminar here. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing such a wonderful and depth knowledge on today's topic. Sir, it's help to our members to develop the new avenue for their practice. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, Surat office bearer, CA Dushyant Vitlani sir and CA Shailesh Lakhankaya sir, for joining with us. And thank you very much to all the past convener and all subcommittee members to give us support to arranging such a type of seminar. Thank you very much. And thanks to all the members for joining in a large number. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
If any member have write their membership for attendance purpose, then please write. Just 2 minutes left, please.
CP credit given to only the member who can who has written their membership number and name in chat box.